Jim, can you answer this question? We're all surprised around the table that with the criticism rising in all quarters, the president would fly to San Francisco for a fundraiser instead of going to New Orleans. That seemed extraordinarily tone deaf.
That seems tone deaf. We had an interesting scoop yesterday that the head of the EPA was going to head up to New York to do a fundraiser. Last night they called to say that she's canceled that fundraising.
What? Are you the head of the EPA was going to head to New York to do a fun? So you're going to have the president in San Francisco doing a fundraiser, and the head of the EPA doing a fundraiser in New York? Are these people out of their minds?
I'm not a PR expert, but I don't think that is the best PR play you can do when you're trying to show that you're in control. They canceled last night. The fundraiser was going to be for the DSCC, which is the fundraising arm for Senate Democrats, and once it got out, they had to cancel it, obviously. Oh, wow. And I think those are the elements that make it a lot harder to show I'm in control focused on this.
Who would have been invited to that fundraiser with the head of the EPA? Who would go?
Oh, I mean, anytime you have a big government official at a fundraiser, people want to rub elbows with them, people in the industry, people who care about the issues. So there's no doubt any cabinet official is going to be a draw.
People that want to have influence over the EPA.
It's one thing to have
like
a fundraiser,
PP.
which we can argue, but this thing's been going on for a month. It took until late yesterday for them to cancel this? Am I correct in what you said?
Right. Yes, it took till they ended up canceling this last night, and I think
somebody is stupid in the White House. Stupid to send the head to the EPA. Think about this: they're sending the head of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, which, by the way, allowed chemicals to be dumped in the Gulf of Mexico when they were being begged not to hold a fundraiser in New York. When Barack Obama was flying to San Francisco to hold a fundraiser for Barbara Boxer, nothing's wrong with fundraisers, but while this is going on, Jim, this is staggering. Who would make such stupid decisions inside the White House?
Well, there's two things that happen. One, most fundraisers are scheduled well in advance, so in all likelihood, both of these were at least tentatively on the schedule beforehand. Like where the stupidity would come in is if you don't cancel them, or you're seen doing too much fundraising when the country's expecting you to be taking the lead on BP. I mean, from the White House perspective, they're trying to calculate, well, how long do we have to put everything else on hold, given that we don't know the duration of how long it's going to take to clean up the spill. And therefore, they're making the calculation, well, we've still got to go and do our job, and one of our jobs is to make sure that we keep a Democratic Senate so we can get our initiatives through next year.
You know, the president yesterday, after being criticized for going to San Francisco, they had a late change and decided he'd go down Friday.
I don't know. I mean, what is wrong with appearing on? Why can't he just appear on a giant video screen? Because I mean, you know, that would have been better PR to say,
Barbara Boxer's
Barbara Boxer's
I'm in New Orleans.
Jim VandeHei, thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
Coming up.